Well, we are live. Nance, how you doing today?
Good, and I want to say happy Halloween to everybody. Ooh.
No, this is our Wednesday chat that got canceled. We were without internet for 2 days straight, so we slid it to Saturday. So hopefully people are aware of it and people will pop in. So how you doing this Halloween, Nance?
Good for a snowy Halloween. We had a couple inches of snow yesterday.
Yeah, if you look out our window, which it's sunny, but the ground's still covered with about 4 or 5 inches of snow.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. So how is everyone else doing out there? Does anyone else have snow, sun, anything?
Remember a few years back we had a huge snowstorm on Halloween and they nicknamed it Frankenstorm?
Yes.
We had like 30 inches of snow.
That was probably our earliest to this point.
That was the earliest we had that much snow, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a little bit of a dusting every now and then, but we usually won't get as much snow as we got today, last night, 5 inches or so.
Yeah.
So this is our news chat. And if you haven't guessed, we're just dressed for the occasion. And let's see. We're going to first go through some news items. Now, these news items are very current. Having trouble seeing through my veil here. Okay, these news items are very current. They're within the last 12 to 24 hours, and we figured we'd share them with you. We're on till 5 o'clock this morning trying to look around the internet for different items of interest. Let's see. I'm going to skip to the big one. The biggest news, of course, is a cruise suspension ending, and I'll skip towards the end for that one because I think that's one that most people will be interested in. So let's jump down to some of the other news items that we have here. Rising virus cases force cruise lines to cancel sailings in Europe. The new lockdown measures in France and Germany this week due to the fast rising numbers forced at least 6 cruise shipping companies to cancel voyages across Europe since Wednesday. Yeah, this is too bad because Europe now is getting hit again.
Yeah.
And they were having such success getting everything down. So they are getting hit again. And a lot of their river cruises, from what I hear, and some of the bigger cruises have actually been canceled because of it. Another problem they're having over in Europe is a lot of the ports are closing down. So the ships aren't able to actually go to places. So that's kind of rough. Next news item, big cruise ships banned from Canada till at least February 2021. And this has been a interesting thing going back and forth because Canada closed their ports for big ships, which made it so that the U.S. could not sail out of Canada to go to Alaska, and they could not do the other trips like the foliage ones and stuff like that. So now they have decided to keep their ports closed. Canada has until 2021 February. So that's something. Oh, we have a few people popping in. Q's Cruises, hello.
Hello.
Trying to read these things through the veil. Thank you. Get that comment all the time when we're in this outfit.
Happy Halloween.
Travel Tour Taste.
Hi, Travel Tour Taste.
This one's I was telling you about. We're waiting breathlessly to find out if their flight heads out tomorrow.
Oh, well, keep my fingers crossed for you guys.
You guys haven't heard anything new in your flight, have you? As far as it being delayed or going on time? Let's see. We've got Glenn Miller.
Glenn Miller.
It was fantastic. Thank you very much. Let's see. Gabby, Clubs with Costumes. Thank you very much, Gabby.
Thank you, Gabby.
I know MSC is still cruising around the Mediterranean. Yeah, I guess a lot of the big ships are still sailing. This is the recent shutdowns that are happening, which are causing issues. So we'll have to wait and see which ones are canceled.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next news item, Carnival Cruise Line. This is one that a lot of you might be interested in because I know a lot of you guys are Carnival Cruise people. They're bringing back their $50 deposits for the rest of the month.
That's a nice deal.
Yeah, it is a great deal. Carnival Cruise Lines have brought back their most popular booking incentive. Deposits on cruises starting at just $50 per person for the rest of the month. Carnival Cruise Line's newest early saver sale allows you to reserve a vacation on Carnival Cruise for $50 per person. The latest sale the Carnival line includes the following: up to 30% off cruises.
Woo.
Cruises starting at $65 per day. Reduced deposits from $50 a person. Good for cruises through April 2023.
Good deal.
The only catch is this thing ends today.
Oh.
So if you're interested in booking a Carnival cruise for these deals, get on the phone with your travel agent today and at least reserve it so you can keep these prices.
Yeah, the most you'd lose is $50, right?
Right.
That's not bad.
At this point, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so
Fantastic
it's
backdrop.
worth worth the gamble.
Thank you very much. Okay, what's this now? Thank you. And no more news, so still on for a hike because we're keeping our fingers crossed.
Yeah, keeping our fingers crossed for you.
I'm not sure what time, U.S. time it is, the flight, but I thought you had said it was towards the late afternoon. So we're all keeping our fingers crossed.
Mm.
In fact, we're going live tomorrow at 5, and I'm not sure if you'll know by then if you're home or if you'll still be waiting for an airport. Welcome, Cynthia Thomas.
Hello, Cynthia. Thank you for joining us today on this Halloween afternoon.
Okay, what we do, this is our delayed chat from Wednesday, so we usually give some news items, and then we have a little bit of Halloween trivia, not trivia, but fun facts. Scared. That's Rana Assad Ali.
Oh,
welcome.
Hello, Rana.
Glenn is from Glenn to Travel to a Taste. This is Sarah and Glenn here with our own personal channel. Okay.
Oh.
It's good to be able to separate the two.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed when Glenn's picture came up and I put it up on the board, I'm saying that looks like the same guy. Okay, so the next news item. No. I think a lot of people keeping you guys in your thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, next news item. So that's Carnival Cruise. Disneyland, there's a one line, and Disneyland Paris closes again. That's the second lockdown in France begins. Well, this is France and I think Germany, I want to say. And I'm not sure what other countries are going into a lockdown again. So Disneyland Paris had opened.
Yeah.
And now they have to close down again.
That's a shame.
So that is a shame.
This virus is coming in waves.
Well, you get Disneyland Paris, which is closing again. You get Disneyland Florida, which is open through everything. And you get Disney World Florida, and then you get Disneyland California, which hasn't even let a customer in yet.
It's hard to keep up. It changes so quickly.
It does. Let's see. Okay. I don't know if any of you are into space, but this is traveling out of space. NASA and SpaceX announced this week that a mission to the International Space Station, originally slated for today, has been rescheduled for November 14th. The launch of the Falcon 9 rocket, which will be sending 4 astronauts to the space station, was supposed to take off on Halloween today, but was pushed back to mid-November for further inspections of the rocket.
Sorry, good move.
Yeah, and this is on the back of the last one that went up. Well, I want to say about a month ago. Remember they landed in the ocean, was it? Or did they land? I forget what it was, but remember they had that big publicized one?
Yes.
The men in space?
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, welcome, Kelly. Kelly Cruises in Life.
Hello,
Happy
Kelly.
Halloween to you.
Happy Halloween.
We were going to put on costumes, but decided just to wear our work clothes today. Glen likes space.
Oh.
Oh, did it go up there? Oh. It was for the day of celebration, so you can show us how it really is done. It was interesting. We did a video that came out Monday on how different countries celebrate Halloween, and surprised how different they are in some countries.
Yeah.
Of course, most of them are related to the dead.
Of course.
Another Disney, the sad Disney piece of news. 10,000 additional layoffs coming to Walt Disney World by December 31st. Fortunately, the bad news keeps coming for Walt Disney World cast members. Just a few days after laying off 90% of their entertainment cast members, the resort has filed paperwork with the state of Florida stating that over 10,000 additional cast members will lose their jobs before the year's end. With this latest addition, Walt Disney World now has terminated 18,000 of the 28,000 announced layoffs
They've
in the
terminated.
domestic parks division, which means roughly 10,000 cast members at Disneyland will likely make up the difference. And they're not even open yet, and it looks like 10,000 of them are going to lose their jobs over there.
I hope a vaccine comes around soon for this virus and we can get back to normal life.
I love Disney so much. Now, do you guys get to Disney World at all? I'm trying to think of what the closest Disney overseas would be for you guys. I don't know if it'd be Disneyland Paris or what.
I'm not sure. Maybe they'll let us know.
Okay.
We're big Disney fans as well.
All right. Next piece of news. Blue Moon is another outer space one. You might want to pay attention to this if you're into any kind of space type of stuff. The Blue Moon is coming tonight. Blue Moon means what, Nance?
It means 2 full moons in a month.
Right. It doesn't mean the moon's blue. It
No.
means you got 2 in the same month.
So we had one the first week of October, and we have one the last week of October. So 2 full moons in a month is a blue moon.
Right. So.
And it occurs every couple of years.
Yeah, it's actually been a while. Let's see. As of 2020, okay, so let's just read what the article says.
Yeah.
As of 2020, must be the bill getting caught in my mouth, wasn't shaping up to be interesting enough. A blue moon will grace the sky tonight. This is exciting news not only for the spooky timing, but because it will be the first blue moon on Halloween in 76 years.
76 years. What? That's amazing.
As well as the first blue moon visible in every time zone since 1944. So that would be all across the U.S., I guess, referring to in this article. Do you want to see the blue moon? You can view the blue moon at moonrise. The moonrise will be around 6:13 p.m. Eastern time in New York, or the East Coast.
Yeah.
It will be 6:23 p.m. Pacific time, so it would be Los Angeles and the West Coast. But it's recommended to check resources. I guess there's a website called Time and Date to find the exact time for the moonrise in your area. So that's something we plan on doing tonight.
Yeah, check it out if you can.
And that should be nice. Let's see now. Let's see if anyone else in the... Well done, I have to go. Sorry for the brief visit. Hey, thanks for dropping by, Kelly's Cruises.
And also you could see Mars next to the moon as well.
Okay, yeah, what did they say? What were the
know.
plans? They'd said Saturn, Venus, Mars.
Yeah. Jupiter?
I forget. There's like 4 planets that you could possibly see in the sky tonight. You know what you're looking for, I guess.
I only saw Mars last night.
Oh, you did see Mars last night?
I did see Mars last night.
Yeah, she went out. She actually walked out in her slippers in the snow to try and take some pictures of the sky last night. So that's interesting stuff. Another thing is on the news that we pulled out was 11 massive theme park grand openings we can't wait for in 2021. Now, these are ones that there were a lot more than this, but a lot have been pushed back because of the virus, as you know. These are some that are supposed to open up in 2021. Yes, no. We get 6 inches out there. When we do our live tomorrow, I'm going to pop up a couple of the pictures of it. It's on the camera now. I didn't have a chance to put it on here today. But yes, no. Okay. 11 massive theme park grand openings we can't wait for. Number 1, Cirque du Soleil Drawn to Life. And this is going to be in Disney Springs, and it's supposed to open February 10th, 2021.
Oh.
If you remember, they used to have a Cirque du Soleil there. They have the thing that looks like a tent.
Yeah, I remember that.
In Disney Springs, and it's been sitting there idle for quite a while.
Quite a while, right.
Well, they put together this whole new show, and I guess they're actually going to try and have a little bit of Disney type of atmosphere in the show itself.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. So that would be nice.
You mean they might have Mickey swinging from the ropes and stuff like that?
I don't know why they, how far they'll go with the Disney, if there would be just background music or what.
I thought they might have Mickey Mouse and Minnie swinging from the ropes.
Or climbing the wall or something.
Climbing the walls, yeah.
Who knows what they'll do. Number 2 is Legoland New York, and that's going to be in New York, obviously, and that's supposed to open up on the spring of 2021.
That'd be cool to see.
Yeah, we have no Legolands. I think the closest, there might be one in Pennsylvania.
I think there is one in Pennsylvania, yeah.
But there's definitely one in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
That opened up. It used to be Cypress Gardens.
Right.
And now it's a Legoland. So it looks like they're going to open one up in New York. I'm not sure where, but anyone that has, I think it's geared more towards younger kids. So it'd be a great place to take them. And you can go on the East Coast. You don't have to go all the way down to Florida. Number 3. A new Legoland 4D movie, and this is going to be at the Legoland in Florida, opening the spring of 2021. This again is it's at the park that already exists down there, and it's going to be a 4D movie. I have not seen any 4D movies. We've always seen the 3D ones, right?
We've only seen 3D. It looks like 2021 is going to be a better year.
Well, stuff is going to open. Yeah, we do. We definitely do, which is early for us. Usually it's a dusting, but we now have been out today in shorts and T-shirts, and it must have been up to high 80s. Oh, I missed that. It's supposed to get up to the 40s today, so we're hoping a lot of the snow will melt away. Okay, let's see. Number 4, Super Nintendo World. This is going to be at the Universal Studios in Japan. That's opening up the spring of 2021. Now, we've never been big Nintendo fans.
No,
my son used to play some Nintendo games.
Yeah.
We do know some of the characters.
Some of them.
But I don't know if I would enjoy a whole park with Nintendo.
I don't think I would.
But there are people out there who will probably kill for this thing.
Oh, yeah. Sure, there are a lot of die-hard Nintendo fans.
Let's see. Number 6, Icebreaker. I think this is a roller coaster type of ride. This is going to be at SeaWorld in Orlando opening. Well, the opening is 2021, but the month is to be announced. Saw some pictures on this and simulators. I think it's a roller coaster, if I'm not getting confused. Okay, let's see. You would Icebreaker. Number 7, Iron Wazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa. And that opening date is 2021. No month has been set yet. That's another roller coaster. Busch Gardens in Tampa, if you're into roller coasters, is a huge roller coaster park. In fact, I was talking to Tyler about that a couple of days ago. He's a big roller coaster guy, and he thinks he recommends Busch Gardens if you're a roller coaster person.
Okay.
And he was talking about this new roller coaster a little bit. Number 8 is Pantheon, which is also Busch Gardens. 2021. I think that is also a roller coaster.
Wow.
I'm not sure where they're putting all these roller coasters.
Yeah,
but
the year of the roller coaster in Busch Gardens.
It sounds like it, doesn't it? Let's see. That was Pantheon, right? Number 9, Emperor. I guess his name Emperor. It's SeaWorld's in San Diego, California. That's opening up 2021. No month yet, but that looked like another throw ride.
Is that a roller coaster ride?
It looks similar to it. I couldn't really tell, but I'm guessing it is a roller coaster type of ride.
Okay.
Number 10, and I was looking forward to these last two. I'm looking forward to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure in Epcot, and that's in Disney World, and that's opening 2021. That was supposed to open up earlier in the year. But
delayed?
It got delayed, I think, but it's still supposed to open in 2021. If you didn't know that Disney World, I think it is celebrating its 50th anniversary. So they're trying to get some of these bigger attractions open to get people down there to celebrate. And I think this is one they were pushing to open. And the other one, number 11, is called Tron Light Cycle. And that was that's also in Magic Kingdom opening in the fall of 2021. That's an interesting roller coaster. It's not your typical one. You sit on these things that almost look like motorcycle type of things and go around the track. I don't think you patrol anything, but it looks kind of neat. They have it open overseas in one of the parks.
Yeah, sounds fun to me.
Has anyone been on any of these type of rides overseas, like the Tron, I think, overseas? I think Remy's Ratatouille opened overseas. One says it's 50th amazing, so it is 50th.
Oh, it is 50th.
Yeah.
Okay.
one thing they did is, when you drive in, you have that big arc that has a Mickey and the Minnie,
Yeah.
which I always loved. They're taking those out, taking that down, and putting a very bland type of arch over it.
Oh, really?
They're trying to match the Cinderella's castle.
Oh, okay.
But I will miss the characters being there.
Yeah, I will too.
So,
I remember when we took our daughter and our son to Disney World, it was their 25th anniversary, and they painted the castle to look like a birthday cake. And it had all kinds of candy on it, and it was a hot pink castle. And we told our daughter they did it for her birthday. And she was 4.
That was funny.
Yeah.
It was her birthday, and
Yeah.
she actually believed they did the whole
We
thing
said,
for
we
her
painted
birthday.
the castle for your birthday. It was I liked it, but it was a hot pink, and they had the lightsabers and the candy. It was so cool the way they did it.
Yeah.
I bet, they'll never do that again, probably, huh?
No, a lot of people didn't like that.
I know. I remember you telling me
I thought it was
that.
a cute difference.
I
but
liked it.
A lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah.
Glenn Miller says Avatar is one of his favorites. That's one of the things that we did not get to. Our quick history was we would do Disney every other year for 10 to 14 days when the kids were growing up. But I had a timeshare, and so we'd go every other year, so we could pack 2 weeks together. And we did that for numerous years.
Yeah, we did.
Then about 6 years ago, we decided to try cruising again.
Yeah, our last Disney trip was in 2011.
Okay, and we fell in love with the cruising.
Yeah, so that was,
I guess it was 9 years ago.
9 years ago.
And we've been on cruise ships every year, so we've got to get back to Disney. And Avatar was not, the whole Avatar land was not built when we first went down. So let's see now. Okay, now the last news item, which I was going to lead off with, but I figured probably most of you have heard this, but for people who haven't, it's very interesting, especially with the news coming out this morning. So I'll just read you the release. This is on the cruise suspension, which ended yesterday at 4 o'clock. And this is just a general overview right here. At 4 p.m. Friday, the CDC announced it would replace the nearly 8-month-old non-sale order with less restrictive conditional sailing order. The no-sale order expires today. The new conditional order is due to remain in effect until the CDC director decides to end it. The new order establishes a framework that would help the industry implement safety measures to resume operations in the U.S. waters in a phased approach. Before restarting passenger operations, the cruise companies will have to show how safe their protocols are. The CDC said cruise companies would need to demonstrate adherence to testing, quarantine, isolation, and social distancing requirements prior to moving forward in the restart framework. The lines are also expected to build lab capacity to conduct testing of the crew and eventually passengers. This is on board. More details later. Now, I personally don't know how the cruise lines are going to do this. I have down here, I went through and I cut this down to, it's a 40-page document, but I cut it down to a paragraph that I could understand and thought I would share it with you people. This is the conditional sail order, what it takes to get sailing again. So this is what the cruise lines will have to do
in order to sail again.
To sail again. According to the CDC's conditional sailing order, cruise lines will need to pass through 4 phases before being able to resume passenger operations. The first one is testing for crew and passengers both onshore and on board.
That makes sense.
So that's pre-test, and that's tests during different phases of the cruise itself.
Well, they should do that.
That's a given.
That's a given.
Absolutely. Some of these are a lot tougher, though. Conduct simulation cruises with volunteer passengers to prove the cruise line's ability to mitigate the risk of transmission on board. Basically, a test run cruise with volunteers agreeing in writing to all the risks involved.
Oh.
This is something I've heard different rumors they're going to put out there for different crew members. They're going to put out for volunteers just to live down in the general areas. And they're also going to offer people, I've heard even people like YouTube people to come on board so they could actually get some positive publicity out of this, I imagine. But this is something that would be a voluntary thing. You have to sign away your life that if anything happened, you couldn't hold responsible.
Yeah.
But I think it's also that basically the whole cruise would be free. So I don't know. Anyone there would anyone there take a chance on doing it? It'd be interesting. I don't know if I would or wouldn't.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
Right. Number 3 is the cruise line would have to complete a certification process. And this is heaps of paperwork and signatures. So they would have to go through the ship from bow to stern, if I get that right,
Yeah.
and basically make sure that everything is perfect condition. I don't, it's going to be interesting. And number 4, start operating cruise again with numerous stipulations in place. So that's basically a lot of the stuff. The first 3 you probably haven't heard much about, but the last one we've all heard about, where you have to wear masks probably and be tested and social distancing, less people on board.
Well, one good thing is the, what is it, the mustard drill would be online.
Yeah.
That's
there are a few good things that came out of it.
One good thing, mustard drill, right.
Yeah, and mustard drill, and you figure there's not going to be big lines getting on the ship or
Right,
off the
that's
ship
true.
because they're going to keep people to their reservation time,
That's
and they
right.
so
The only thing is, like, when they have shows in the theater, they can only allow so many people in there at a time.
yeah, you figure that you're going to have to have huge
I wonder
spaces.
if they'll have like more, less shows but more seating.
Well, no, they have to have more shows, right? They have to add more shows to it because there's going to be less people going to each show. That's what I would think, because the theater's only going to be 50% full at the most. So you're going to have to double the amount of shows or have some kind of reservation system.
Yeah.
So, okay, so now that's the four things you got to start out with. Once they pass through all 4 of these phases, the cruise lines will be able to operate with these standards. So now you've passed all the rigorous stuff to allow them to put a ship in the water with passengers. Now, once the ship's in the water, these are the rules they have to go by. So you first have to complete the first 4, and then you have
if you get that far,
right. Then you have to
the next
do
phase.
this.
Okay.
Number 1, cruises must be limited to no more than 7 days.
Oh.
They don't want people way out at sea and have no way of getting them back home. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Number 2, cruise lines must test all crew and passengers on the day of embarkation and on the day of disembarkation. All results must come back to the crew or passengers can board or depart. So this basically is you get tested when you're getting on the ship.
Right.
You don't go on the ship until you get a result from that test. So it's not like they test and you're on the ship and then you find out the results. They don't want to have someone come up positive.
Until you're negative.
Right. They don't want someone to turn around.
The only thing is, I hope people don't have false positive, false negatives. You're going to have that.
Well, then that's the thing that scares me.
It's not foolproof.
Right. Oh, well, welcome, Rachel Loves Disney. Thank you.
Hello, Rachel.
I'm dressing up for my Halloween stream tonight. 8 o'clock. We'll have to check that out. Thank you for telling us. Okay, so the next one, let's see. Okay, so now we got our testing done. Now we're on the ship. Anyone who reports symptoms, this is any symptom at all, must immediately take a rapid result test. And then any close contacts of those with symptoms must be tested as well. Now, that's a common sense thing, but can you imagine the pain where you're in there sniffling or coughing, and now everyone that you came in contact with that day is going to have to be, does it say quarantined here? Or have to be tested at least. Yeah.
They have to be tested.
But I mean, I don't see any other way around it.
Them if you had it.
Yep. And the 4th one, once you're out at sea, says face masks and social distancing must be mandated on ships. That's what they're doing over in Europe now. I mean, I don't see any way around that.
So do they provide masks? I think they do, right?
Well, you're supposed to bring your own, I think, but you would think a week cruise, they're going to have masks readily available. They're going to see if you need them, go here or go there.
Right, I would think
they may even have a dispenser type of thing.
That's true, too. Yeah.
But, and I've heard originally they were going to be a lot less stringent of where you wear the mask, but the articles I've been reading in the last 24 hours are saying that you may have to wear masks everywhere except out at the pool.
Oh, wow.
And I'm not sure what that means as far as restaurants are concerned. You have to actually wear it and take it down, take a chew, put it back on. I'm not really sure what that means.
We'll find out.
And the crux of all this, so that you people are asking, well, they'll probably just, like I've always been very pessimistic that they'll enforce this type of stuff. And I guess the big thing is everything that we read to you and everything they're doing has to be reported immediately to the CDC. Wow. So, if they don't report it with all the video cameras out there and all the phones, and it gets back to them, they'll shut the cruise line down. So
do they fine them too? Will they?
well, I imagine
outdoor fine?
it'll be heavy fines, and they'll probably shut the
Yeah.
ship down. Who knows
Wow.
what they'll do? But the thing is, they're not going to be able to sneak by and skirt by it, because I guess over in Europe, they're having cases that they don't even have to report,
Oh, wow.
because the laws don't pertain to that aspect of it, and so there's rumors that there have been cases there that just aren't getting out yet.
Yeah.
And of course, all this, if you want to call it happy news in the last 24 hours with the cruise lines coming back, is mixed in with people that own cruise stocks. We could all guess that cruise stocks were going to shoot up as soon as this news came out. Well, the shares for Carnival Cruise Line, the world's largest cruise line, soared over 11% on Friday. But by the end of the day, it did drop down to 7%, but still a big gain. Shares of NCL Norwegian Cruise Line traded for over 6% higher, and Royal Caribbean stock was over 5%. So a good day if you own the stock. I was still waiting to buy stock until it came down to single digits. So I have a feeling now that's never going to happen again. So for all you people that bought low, good for you. Okay, so that is the news in the last 24 hours, Nance. And since it is Halloween, we did just want to share some interesting Halloween facts with you. And Sean and Casey have popped in.
Oh, hello, Sean and Casey. Happy Halloween.
And how you guys doing?
Yeah,
And I
how's
mean
everybody
both basically physically.
Hope you're doing well today on this Halloween day.
And family travel and excursions, welcome in. Happy Halloween to you.
Hello, family travel and excursions.
Yes, as far as the stocks are concerned, Sean and Casey said they went up a little bit. So they went up on Friday, today's Saturday. I guess it closed over the weekend. So it'll be interesting to see what Friday pertains. Yeah, in case you're wondering, Sean and Casey, this is our typical work clothes that we're wearing. Okay, it sounds like
he's better. Oh, that's
sounds
good.
like Casey is better. That's good to hear.
That is good to hear.
And how's your nurse doing? I know she's been probably very stressed out the last 24 hours or so.
Yeah, that's scary.
So Nancy, if you want to read your little Halloween facts.
Sure, I'd love to. So, because the movie Halloween, which was 1978, was on such a tight mask they could find for the character Michael Myers, which turned out to be a William Shatner Star Trek mask. Shatner initially didn't know the mask was in his likeness. When he found out years later, he said he was on it. That's interesting fact.
It's funny. I've looked at that mask and it looks like something familiar, but I never would expect William Shatner, But now I won't be able to look at that
Without
picture again and figure that's what it is. Yeah. And if you watch the movie, you'll see that it does look like him.
Yeah.
You can see the face in there.
I wonder whose idea that was. That's very interesting.
I wonder how popular he was back. That was what, 1978. So you wonder how popular. Well, that would have been after the Star Trek stuff. So I mean,
I never watched Star Trek. Well, once in a while I did.
You're married to death. Now, that could go either way, couldn't it? That could go from her to me or me to her. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Oh, well, the first jack-o'-lanterns were actually made from turnips. That's interesting.
That's very interesting. So if you didn't have a chance to go out and get some pumpkins or they're out of them, go to your local grocery store, right, and get a turnip.
Get a turnip. I would think it would be harder to carve a turnip, but I don't know.
I know. It seems like it's very hard.
Hard, yeah.
I wonder if you have to boil them or something like that back when they used it. Sean Casey, wishing everyone a happy Halloween.
All right.
Go ahead. Next
Did you know that Halloween is the second highest grossing commercial holiday after Christmas?
That makes sense, though.
It does.
You think of the other holidays.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could say Thanksgiving with all the food you buy.
Yeah,
but,
that's what I.
But it's the same
what
commercial.
About Valentine's Day, though? I guess
Yeah,
Halloween beats Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Well, Valentine's Day is probably more flowers than candy, but still, flowers are expensive. I don't know. But I would think.
Hey, welcome, Blaine.
But people buy costumes, so maybe because people are buying Halloween costumes, that
Yeah, I guess
Spice
you're
it
buying that
up.
and the decorations and the
Decorations,
pumpkins.
yeah.
Welcome, sailing away your T&K.
Hi, sailing away with T&K.
Okay. Go ahead, read the
Okay,
next
see if I
one.
could say this right. Samhainophobia. If someone says you're a samhainophobia, that means
Well, before you say it,
Yeah.
can anyone guess that? Give me a
Oh.
second that.
samhainophobia. Does anybody know what that means?
Let's see. I'll spell it here.
Don't be samhainophobic.
S-A-M-H-A-I-N-O.
S-A-M-H-A-I-N-O, and then phobia.
Okay. Anyone guess what this is?
Who knows their samhainophobias?
So this is a fear of something.
Yes. Any phobia is a fear of.
Let's see now. Well, read the next one, and we'll come back to the answer for that one. So,
All right. So 50% of kids prefer to receive chocolate candy for Halloween, compared with 24% who prefer non-chocolate candy and 10% preferred gum.
what's your favorite? If you were to get anything, your bag full of
Chocolate.
chocolate. Yeah. Yeah, I like chocolate.
Yeah. I used to like all the Almond Joys that the kids would get because they didn't like coconut. And I would take all the Almond Joy candies from them. I'm like, great.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Though anything with chocolate,
Anything
I don't like coconut, so for me, it was without
Yeah,
coconut.
my Almond Joys. Oh, I love
Your family travel excursion said someone who's afraid of people named Sam.
that was a good
That would be
guess.
my guess, but Blaine got it correct on
Blaine got it correct.
Yeah.
All right, good job,
Yeah.
Blaine. Blaine knows his phobias.
fear of Halloween.
Fear of Halloween. Who would be afraid of Halloween?
Oh, geez, I could think of all the holidays. That would be the one I'd be most afraid of if I was someone.
I guess so.
You could just fill that before you went to the next one. Let's see. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Def. Next one is
Let's see.
number 6.
We're on number 6. So black and orange are typically associated with Halloween. Orange is a symbol of strength and endurance and also stands for the harvest in autumn. Black is typically a symbol of death and darkness, and acts as a reminder that Halloween once was a festival that marked the boundaries between life and death.
Interesting. How many of you are going to a Halloween party tonight or have kids that are going to be trick-or-treating? They have canceled it in our town. And I read a lot of towns are canceling it.
Yeah, some towns are still having it,
Yeah.
but most towns have canceled.
We did have a trunk-or-treating last week in town, which is everyone brings their cars down to the local ball field and they open the backs and they give out candy.
Yeah.
Okay, next one.
Ireland is typically believed to be the birthplace of Halloween, unless anybody can tell me different. It's like
we mentioned that in the video on Monday that came out that Ireland was. I was very surprised about that.
Birthplace of Halloween.
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 8.
Scottish girls believed they could see images of their future husbands if they hung wet sheets in front of the fire on Halloween. Other girls believed they would see their boyfriends' faces if they looked into mirrors while walking downstairs at midnight on Halloween. Those are interesting beliefs.
Kind of gullible-ish young ladies, I would guess, huh?
Oh my goodness. Their boyfriends are the ones that are probably behind the sheets scaring them.
So trick-or-treating tonight. So family travel. They look like, if you look in the picture, they look like they have younger kids. So they're doing the traditional trick-or-treating.
All right, traditional. Good. I'm glad that towns are still honoring that tradition.
Blaine, are you in an area that the kids come by and you give out candy, or is it more remote? I always tell a story. We've been in this house for over 30 years, and I bought a candy bar the very first year here, one candy bar, and I said I was going to give it as a bigger candy bar. I said I was going to give it to the first kid that came, kind of celebrate. I still have that candy bar 30 plus years later, sitting in the house. In fact, one of the guys. They offered to one of the guys said, we met on the cruise. I told him I'm going to bring it on the cruise ship if we haven't given it out by then. Can you imagine that? Nice fermented chocolate by now, right?
Oh, gosh. Hey.
All right. So what? You're number
8. I'm on number 9.
Number 9, okay.
According to tradition, if a person wears his or her clothes inside out and then walks backward on Halloween, he or she will see a witch at midnight. Wow.
Let's try that.
Anybody want to try that? So you got to wear your clothes inside out and then walk backwards on Halloween night, and you might see a witch at midnight.
You know what we'll do? We'll try it out tonight, and we'll let people know tomorrow on our live tomorrow if we are saw any witches.
I might bump into my
mother. Yes. Glad you said that, not me. Just so people know, this chat here is an afternoon chat that we're doing instead of the one Wednesday since our internet crashed. But we are still doing our live tomorrow at 5 o'clock, so please tune in for that. And we're going to show a video on Yankee Candle, which is perfect timing for the holidays coming up.
So the longest haunted house in the world is Factory of Terror in Canton, Ohio. Who would have thought Canton, Ohio has the longest haunted house in the world?
Trunk or treating is bigger than trick or treating around here. Okay,
really?
Some churches that have, I'm sorry, some churches around here don't do it. It's usually the recreation departments that put this stuff together. But you would think the churches would be big on that.
Well, they might. I mean, we haven't done trick or treating in many years.
For a family move. Well, good for you, Blaine, helping someone out, and thank you for dropping in. And you have a good day.
Bye, Blaine.
Okay. And Blaine is one of Blaine and Casey. Sean and Casey are two of our moderators that are in here today, and we want to thank them for their continued support. Oh, look at that. I'm going to let you say hello.
Hi, Hugh Studios. I hope I said it right.
Well, you say it right on. Thank you for joining us. Okay, what are you on now?
I'm on 11.
Number 11.
So if you have a child that's born on Halloween, it's said to have the ability to talk to spirits. So a child born on Halloween is said to have the ability to talk to spirits.
Now that would be scary.
So don't get freaked out if your child starts talking to spirits, because if they're born on Halloween, that's what they're supposed to do.
I think what I would do is if my kid was going to be born on Halloween, I'd probably try and hold it off. Have you do whatever it takes to make it go the day before, the day after.
Yeah. Don't be born on Halloween.
Imagine every year trying to celebrate that.
Yeah.
With a spooky theme,
I think it would be fun.
It would probably be fun.
I do. I think it would be fun to be born on Halloween. You get to dress up and go trick-or-treating every year. You're going to have a Halloween-themed birthday party. Nothing wrong with that.
Dress up in your birthday suit, I guess, right?
Nothing wrong with that. So did you know that both Salem, Massachusetts and Anoka, Minnesota are the self-proclaimed Halloween capitals of the world?
I always knew Salem, Salem, Mass, right?
Yeah, Salem, Mass, because
the witch trials, and that's, if any of you are close by there, that's a fun place to go to see the courthouse and the museum.
I've never been. I'd like to go. One year, I'd like to go.
We said we're going to try and do
I know,
and hit a bunch of these. I wouldn't go around Halloween
be crazy busy. Yeah,
it's very crazy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, you.
Well, this one is my favorite.
Likes your costume?
Oh, thanks. This one's my favorite because it's not too far from where we live. Keene, New Hampshire, about 20 minutes from our house, holds the record for the most jack-o'-lanterns lit at once. And we have a picture of that somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to put it up. Maybe we can put it up for the folks.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, you can change the setting here.
Let me see if I can get this working on the fly without any problem.
Yeah, we'll show you.
Okay,
there it is. There's a scaffolding.
Yeah, this is interesting.
That was fun.
We live about a half hour from here, and this is Keene, New Hampshire. And they decided one year, how many years would you go back? 20 years?
Oh, no, yeah, 30, maybe 30 at least.
And they started this thing out. We should really put out a video on this. It'd be interesting. But anyways, they started out with, I think it was 300. And
Actually, it was at least 30 years ago because I was working in Keene at the time, and that was the first year they did the Pumpkin Fest, and that was the early 1990 or 91. Yeah.
Okay, so we went up. We went to it every year they had it, and basically it started out very small. And the key is it's not pumpkins; it's jack-o'-lanterns. So these things have to be carved
and lit.
If they're not lit, they don't qualify.
Yeah.
And they basically started with 300 and got to a point, I forget what year, where it was a world record, which is, I don't know, it was a few thousand. Anyways, well, of course, they held this letter. They beat their own records several years in a row. And then, of course, the bullies had to come in Boston, Mass, and I think it was Portland, Oregon, both decided that they wanted to hold a record, knock the poor little town of New Hampshire out of the woods. So
take it away from poor little Keene.
Boston did it one year and did not break the record. The second, I think it was the second year they did it, they blew them away.
Yep.
Didn't have it. They did not have it after all because it's a major undertaking. The security, the platforms you see behind us. There is a platform. They pile these up all around the different streets. They close off the downtown. So Boston had the record for, I don't know, a few years. I forget the numbers.
I forget either. We'll have to do the history behind the pumpkin fest.
Then Keene put out a thing and asked for the support of all surrounding towns and schools, and all the schools got on board, did jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah.
And everyone was wheeling them in wheelbarrows and wagons, and actually awesome. Beat Boston.
We got our record back, and we still hold it now. It's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most lit jack-o'-lanterns.
Actually, the Guinness people come up and they walk around, make sure the things are lit. They make sure everyone's got a sign when they check in a pumpkin.
Oh, yeah, because there's people out there making sure that each jack-o'-lantern is lit. And that's very important.
It's quite the process. Yeah. But they went around and they broke the record, and I think they might have broken their own record maybe one more time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we'll have to research that, and we'll have to do a segment on the history of that.
Then all of a sudden, one year, like kids will do, the local Keene College decided to have a big party the same night. The local media, now the college is not that close to the downtown, but the local media built it up that it was a riot, a campus riot that was caused by the Pumpkin Fest.
Yeah.
And since then, they demanded that more police and everything were hired.
That's correct.
Of course, this is a volunteer organization. They couldn't do it. So they moved this up to what part of New Hampshire? I think it's near the Lake Winnipesaukee, but they've held up there the last 2 or 3 years. But so far, Keene still holds the record.
Yeah.
And that was a long-winded explanation of that, that last fact. What was it, 13?
The fact that Keene holds a record for the most jack-o'-lanterns lit at once.
Okay.
Yeah, but we enjoyed the Pumpkin Fest for many, many years. It was a shame that it had to be ruined by that event.
And those, the towers behind us, they actually had to have one of those buckets, that would lift people to the top to get the pumpkins up there. There were several of those, and then the rest were on smaller shelves all around the streets. It was
a lot of fun. The whole city was shut down, and the kids got to trick or treat at each establishment in downtown Keene, and they had a movie theater that they showed cartoons, and that was fun. It was a lot of fun.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, so pumpkins are classified as a fruit, not a vegetable. In 2006, New Hampshire declared that its state fruit is the pumpkin.
Okay, interesting.
Yep. The blockbuster movie Halloween was filmed in just 21 days.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like you take some of these movies which became famous, like Rocky.
And Blair Witch Project.
That was another one, yeah. Low budget. I mean, the Rocky, they were saying that a lot of the sets and the floats were just one dimension. You just saw the front of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they weren't
That's very interesting.
Yep.
In Belleville, Missouri, it's illegal to ask for candy if you are over the age of 13. That's the last time our son went trick-or-treating. He was 13. He didn't go trick-or-treating after that. He wasn't interested.
Well, what's funny about that, though? I saw that and I laughed and I said, how can you restrict the age of a kid doing it? But I was talking to my mother recently, and she had said in her town that they had a mandate on the age limit.
Really?
Yeah, so I guess it's all part of this social distancing type of thing. You don't want big groups of teenagers out there hanging. I mean, do any of you guys have restrictions in your town what are your restrictions in your town?
Yeah, that's interesting because they didn't put age restrictions. I mean, our kids could have gone out, but he didn't want to go out after the age of 13. That was the last year he wanted to go out.
When it got to the point where people would come to the house like teenagers, they weren't even cautioned.
Oh,
baseball cap or something.
That's true. Yeah. In Dublin, Georgia, it's illegal for anyone over the age of 16 to wear a mask, sunglasses, or any other facial coverings on Halloween. In Alabama, it's illegal to dress up as a priest or as a nun on Halloween. The average bag of candy that one child will collect on Halloween contains about 11,000 calories. Hopefully your kids won't eat that one bag all at once.
No.
Oh, we'll talk about a sugar rush.
Plus most of the parents probably steal a lot of that candy anyway when they get home, right?
I like this one because this is one of my favorite candies too. The original creator of Milk Duds, he wanted to make the candies into perfect circles. And when that proved impossible, he called them duds. He added the word milk to refer to the large amount of milk used to make the candy, hence the name Milk Duds was born.
And those were very popular. We both liked it.
I like Milk Duds, yes.
They do a job on your teeth, though.
They do. They stick to your teeth. So if you have any big fillings that you don't want removed.
I know.
That and sugar babies and sugar daddy candies. You remember those sugar daddies?
Sugar daddies were terrible.
Oh, they were
the
horrible.
lollipops, right?
Yeah, the lollipops. They were horrible.
Tasted delicious. Like,
man, they were good, but they stuck to all your cavities.
Yeah, you're so tempted.
Well, they gave you cavities if you didn't have any cavities.
You're so tempted to bite into them.
I know. Yeah.
So those are some interesting Halloween things.
Yeah.
And we are out of information, so we just want to run a few things by you. As you know, this is in place of Wednesday's chat. We're hoping to go. Actually, is it next week? We're not going to go Wednesday. We're going to go Thursday.
Thursday.
Right? At 2. So next Thursday's afternoon chat will be Thursday at 2.
Yes.
And we have a live tomorrow at 5 p.m.
Yep. So please join us if you can tomorrow at 5 p.m.
And anyone else would like to ask any questions or throw any comments up here before we say good afternoon to you? We've got to return our costumes before the place closes. And you want to say, Nance, before we go?
I just want to thank everyone for joining us. And if anybody is a creator out there and you want to do your hashtag creator, feel free to do that. And we thank everyone for joining us on this Halloween.
So we hope you all have a happy Halloween.
And don't forget to fall back. Tonight we have to set the clocks back. So at 2 a.m.
Is that what time it is?
Yeah, most people do it at midnight.
Right, but I mean,
you should do
it
it
goes into effect at 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Okay. Yeah, so we will be setting our clocks back at midnight, but it needs to be done by 2 a.m.
So you got an extra hour's sleep,
we got an extra hour's sleep, yes.
Okay, good. All right.
So we will be here at 2, so please remember to set your clocks back so you don't want to miss the live if you want.
That's right. Or anything else going on.
Or anything else going on in your life. That's right.
So have a good Halloween.
Happy Halloween and be safe, everyone. And thank you again for joining us. And remember, stay young and have fun.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.